So the most powerful thing that you can do is walk away from a situation. And this works in pretty much every situation, in one way, shape, or form, particularly when you are feeling disrespected. So one thing I'll preface to this, though, is this shouldn't be used as an avoidance tactic. What I mean by that is, if a conversation is necessary to ease things over, whether it's a conflict with a friend or at work or with a partner, you shouldn't walk away in order to escape or avoid a conflict. However, that being said, if you've done that and it just continues to become an environment that cultivates a certain level of disrespect, or you feel like your boundaries, after having set them and clearly communicated them, are being impressed upon, then walking away is the best thing that you can do. You know, I think back to moments in my life where I've taken a step back, and there's one that comes to mind where I was just continually feeling a level of disrespect that was unwarranted. At the time, I really didn't push back enough against the situation and establish, like, hey, this is not cool. In hindsight, that would have been much better. But when I stepped back, when I walked away, I was able to regain my self-respect. And that's a critical part of this, is knowing when to walk away, is when you feel like you are losing respect for yourself. Like, because if you can't respect yourself and keep yourself to a certain standard, then it makes it a lot harder for other people to respect you. And so there's always this saying, like, you teach people how to treat you, and that's exactly how this relates. When you take a step back, when you walk away, you give that situation, that person, that whoever it is, the gift of your absence. And it creates a hole where they begin to say, oh, there are repercussions, there are consequences to my actions. Now, there may be moments where you are the one causing the trouble, the strife, and the problems. And in that case, you really have to take a good look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror, as it were, and do an audit of where can I be better? Where can I show up better? How can I do that? How can I show up better? And in what light? And then take action from there. And so one thing to keep in mind in regards to all of this, right, is relationships are voluntary. When you're working for someone, when you're working at a job, that is a voluntary commitment to be there at that job. You can leave at any moment in time. Same thing goes for a romantic relationship or a friendship. And related to this is something I've been also thinking about, is the idea of resentments, right? Sometimes we might walk away, but then carry this resentment with us. I've had friends who have at one point called me their brother and then have walked away from the friendship. And part of me has gone, like, what did I do something? Like, what happened? And the best thing you can do when someone else walks away is let them walk away and not try to cling or hold on to them in any way, because that'll just make them pull away even more. You can communicate with them. You can do your best to gain clarity. But at the end of the day, it's their choice, and it's your choice on how you respond to that. So what I'm getting at is, I've made that clear what I'm getting at, but this really encompasses a lot of Stoic philosophy, and I've been listening to Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's been a while since I read the book, but listening to it has given me a lot of new insight on things. And at the end of the day, we only have this day. We only have this present moment. One day we will all die. And so to be concerned with these petty, trivial things is a waste of our energy, is a waste of our life force, quite frankly. And so it's time to really live in accordance with nature. What purpose can you elevate yourself towards, to move in line of, instead of being pulled impulsively by the little trivial things? So keep that in mind. Is what I'm worrying about that important in the grand scheme of things? Or is it a trivial matter that really no longer requires my energy and my attention? I talked about this yesterday, the idea, or the day before, the idea that your time and your attention is your most valuable asset, because that's really all you have. We're thrown into this consciousness, into this world, with a meat suit, a brain, everything hopefully intact and working properly. And all we have left is how we give our energy, how we give our focus and our attention. And there's a lot to that, but it's up to us to decide what that is. So, hope that's been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.